In my last video, I explored Arknights music with my friend Rain101, a singer-songwriter back from the Twitch Sings era. And today, we got 3 more tracks suggested by you guys in the comments for him to listen to. So Rain, it's been a while since we had you for all the Arknights music. How you been?
I've been doing pretty well. How you been, sir?
I've been doing great. Now that I've escaped a TFT-induced hell cage, I'm happy to be back to doing Arknights content, and we'll be doing it for the foreseeable future. And I was just wondering, do you have anything to say to the comments regarding all of your ratings for the last video that we did?
No, not really. I mean, I think, people came with what they had to say, and I am coming with what I had to say. Like, I think a lot of it I responded to just to, drive a little bit of engagement for you. But also I thought really interesting, people had a lot of strong opinions, but I thought that those opinions were largely like delivered fairly and in good faith, which is rare in a YouTube comment section. So, have at it. Like, I'm just one guy with one opinion, and I thought it was cool that so many people were impassioned about something that they obviously care quite strongly about.
Rarely have I ever seen the level of passion I always see with Arknights community and their own music. They love it so much. They always are chirping up about suggestions and everything.
Yeah, and that's great. As a longtime Final Fantasy fan, the music of that series is near and dear to me, and I have personal favorites and stuff like that. And music is so important in our lives that there'd be that deep connection between this experience that you enjoy and the music that kind of helps create that experience.
Now, today we're going to do things a little bit different from what we did last time, where last time I asked you about your preferred genres, and then I stuck to those as best I could, despite not really knowing genres. This time I went through the comments, and I picked the most upvoted music that they recommended, while also trying to adhere to your preferred genres and what you were critiquing about the songs from before. So you commented about the mix before. I have a direct rebuttal from the chat, so we'll get to that one last. But first we're going to do Awaken. This one was one of my favorites. I actually listen to it daily almost.
Okay, yeah.
So let's get to it.
Paper while building a dam. They are flooding circuits to find who I am. Make a list, write it down in time. Sometimes we need it all, sometimes resign to a world where the center is never aligned. Make a move, take it back, it's mine. Gather raindrops and filling the ocean. Now take every part of me, take it all and fit it together like building a boat. Cheers as the horns resound. Echoes of those who drown, carrying myself out. Stay as find the break, water warm, keep it calm, be afraid to rattle the cage. Take a risk, take a dive, take it down, suddenly surrender, take back everything. From the open shore I will learn to fly, soaring past the great divide. Voices at surface seem to call out all the lies. Is it still a sin if I let them in as they sail to calmer tide? I'll awaken what's asleep inside. Lost in ecstasy, sights and sounds are forgotten and clear. Ships bells, golden rings, fantasy breaking me. From the open From the open shore I have learned to fly, soaring past the great divide. Voices that surface seem to call out all the lies. There's a hidden door on the ocean floor. Do these dreams belong to me? If it calls my name, am I awakening?
Okay, give me 1 second. I want to re-listen to something real quick.
There's a hidden door on the ocean floor. Do these dreams belong to me?
Interesting. Okay. 341, 342, where she comes in with there's a hidden door. There's something about the word theirs that was like, that felt like it was like comped weirdly or something like that. So I just wanted to hear it again because it was a little jarring the first time I listened to it. And then yeah, there's like a fuzziness, like a filter, high pass filter or something. It feels like that was applied to it that makes it feel like just that one word, the very beginning of that one word. A lot of times when you're mixing a vocal, right, you'll like double track it, or even like triple track it or whatever, right? It helps boost things up, and sometimes you align them slightly off to create a little bit more texture, and it kind of felt like there was like a weird overlap or something with it. So I just wanted to hear it again because it was initially really jarring, and then the second and third times I just listened to it just now, I was like, no, it's fine, but there's something a little odd about that one, like out of all of the things, there's one little spot where I was like, what was that? What was going on there? So I just wanted to hear it again.
I can't say to know what you're talking about specifically until I go back for a re-listen, but I do want to say that thematically that would make sense with the character, because this character has kind of like two different personalities. I wouldn't say she is like a split personality disorder. It's more like she lost all of her memories and then she eventually got them back, but that old side of her is still a part of her. So that could be like an overlaying of the two voices, of the two personalities type thing.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Like, obviously there's the, sort of bit where the sort of whispery, sort of second voice kind of comes in, right? And they're like kind of doing a tiny little bit of like call and response. I don't know if that particular like bit of the song, because it's literally just that one word, and it's not like an emphasis word or anything like that. So I don't know if it was just my ears being weird, or a small error somewhere, or a little bit of both, or who knows.
What do you think about the song overall?
I thought it was really cool. There's little like bits of not quite sea shanty, but like kind of sea shanty-y vibes, that are thrown into this like really big cinematic, it wouldn't feel terribly out of place in a Disney musical or whatever, right? Like Moana 3 or something like that, right? Like it definitely has like those vibes of being on a mission, right? To not only like accomplish a thing, but also to find myself, right? Like that's about halfway through, I was like, this is like a much more intense Moana song, right? Like I have to do this thing for my people, but really for myself, to find and embrace my true self. And so very obviously choral and big and orchestrated and cinematic and epic in its tone, and done really, really well with like the vocal layering, which kind of fits the sea shanty, like minimal instruments, mostly just voices sort of like thing, right? If you were out on a boat on the sea, you're not bringing a piano and a cello, you've got like people are like playing on the wood of the ship, right? And mostly just kind of singing and classic like accordion or maybe a fiddle or something like that.
It always astounds me how well musicians who know nothing about the story or the themes or anything about Arknights is able to key in exactly what is actually happening in the story, because you kind of hit the nail on the head. That sea shanty, this entire area and this character is based around pirates dealing with literal eldritch horrors. So you kind of got there. I do want to say the singer for this one, excuse me if I mispronounce this, it's either Holly Cedillos or Holly Cedillos. She's actually a Disney performer. She's done performances for, I think, Jasmine and Aladdin, for like the Disney theater stuff, not the movies, but like the actual theater in the Disney concert hall. So yeah, it's really cool that they managed to get that, because like clearly it tried to emulate Disney right there, like you said.
Sure. And I mean, like, it shows the range, right? Some of the the really reaching high notes that she hits are just like, you know, out of this world. You saw a couple of times where she's sort of like trailing off on these like really big high notes. And I'm just like, holy shit, like, wow. So no surprise that they brought in somebody with like sort of those kinds of bona fides. The delivery, right? The intonation, the clarity of her articulation, kind of classic Disney, right? And that's kind of what you want for a sort of character's anthem. It's a really, really good vocal performance.
Oh yeah. I do want to say this kind of marks on a bigger point that I will be more relevant in the third song, but this gotcha company, this random gotcha company, is bringing in heavy hitters to perform their music. Where last time with Tragodia the After, we had Chris Mann, the person who played the Phantom in Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
This time we have an actual Disney singer from like Disney performances. We have something else for the third song, but first, before that, we're gonna go on to the next one, which is Battleplan Pyrolysis. I tried, everybody.
Pyrolysis.
I will
Pyrolysis.
preface this with saying that this one is actually not very familiar to me. I've heard this once. I didn't know that this one was such a well-liked one throughout the Arknights community, so I'm actually excited to think about this one a bit more too, because I've only listened to it in passing the one time. If you remember last time with Operation Blade, that was a lobby theme. This is the same exact thing, where right after a insane boss battle, you get this shit.
Okay.
My search of fate and slowly turn to glaze astray. Colors go to those against, they could distract all the mindless pain away. Seems like you relayed. Who plucked the feathers on your back? You are so done. It's reflecting in your eye. You are fed up, and I think I might know why. Take a turn, it's your timing night and take it back. It's a fight to survive and life is all you have.
What an interesting song. One, it just fucks. It's so good. Like, two, I don't think I've ever heard that kind of like genre mashup because it's like very K-pop,
Yeah.
and also very metal. Like, you know, they've got an arpeggiator going. It brought up Rammstein for me, where, you know, it's this German metal band that blended in a lot of synthesizers and EDM influences way before EDM caught on in the States. Like, if you ever heard like Du Hast is the sort of classic Rammstein song. Really interesting blend of synthesizers and metal and obviously very guttural sort of German, like Du hast, you know, sort of stuff. It felt like listening to Rammstein for the first time and being like, whoa, like what the, like this is not something I've heard mixed, you know, together like mashed up together like this. So, and done really well, right? Like the transitions are not jarring or unexpected. They're surprising in a way that doesn't seem out of place or off kilter or anything like that. Anytime you see these like sort of genre mashups, I'm in. Where it's like, oh, okay, we're doing like a K-pop song. Oh God, that's, you know, like that's double bass, and there's a dude like doing like guttural screams, but it also has the like juxtaposition between like really, really low screaming sounds and then really high sort of male vocals. And it does that too, you know. I don't know if this guy's voice for me feels like really suited for that. It felt like they had to do a lot in the mix to kind of like make it sound a little cleaner and more natural.
Oh, so you like the mix?
Yes, I like the mix on this one and the last one. My wife had been using these headphones, which are monitor headphones, right, for mixing, because I was like, I want to get like, if we're listening to it on Spotify, I want to have a neutral mix so that I can hear it a little more clearly and more objectively. And yes, I do think the mixes have been very, very good on both of these songs.
All right, well, let's move on to our final song. This one was presented by the community as a direct rebuttal to your disdain for the mixes in the previous video. This one, we will be now doing Somniomancer Null Set.
the first thing that really struck me, you might have like seen me counting along, is I'm pretty sure this is in 6/4. So time signatures in music are weird. Most music is in 4/4 time, right? Like that's what we're used to hearing. 99% of music is in 4/4, right? 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. And in 6/4, it's sort of like a blend kind of the 3/4 time of like a waltz, right? 1 2 3, 1 2 3, and 4/4, because you got two sort of like triples together, but it feels like 4/4 with extra. It never feels waltzy, where it has that like, it's sort of upbeat
Oh, hold up. You froze.
and the lift, and so it's a really interesting choice for this, right? Like it's really sort of like throws you off a little bit, because you can't, it feels like it should be 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, but then it's not hitting when you expect it to. So it's 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6. It has this effect of like holding on to things a little longer than you expect, and gives you a little more sort of space for your phrasing. And I thought it was really cool that all or almost all of the song is in that. Again, very sort of like cinematic, right? Very grand, very epic. If we're talking about the mixing in particular, I can understand why people were like, oh yeah, like listen to this, there's all these things. There's a little bit of it loses a bit of clarity in some of like the big grand wall of sound sort of sections. And I was sitting here thinking like, I would love to take this track and like put it in my DAW and look at the EQ and see the actual frequencies that are like what's going on in the frequencies in the song. But it works, right? Like it is this big, grand, intense sort of thing. And so at no point was it like, oh, I'm losing a ton of clarity, you know, on the horns. I'm losing a ton of clarity on this or that or the next thing. In a way, like I felt last time we did this, where it was like certain things are not being mixed in a way that brings emphasis to what it feels like should be emphasized. I didn't feel that. I just felt like there's a lot going on here. There are naturally going to be certain frequencies that are competing with each other. That's okay, because it's not getting in the way of the idea that there's a lot going on here, right? We're blending all of these different things that we've heard at various points in the song all together for this climax. Like you're not going to notice if you're not listening for it, right? You're just going to hear this big thing, right? Like this big moment where it all kind of comes together and hits really hard. I felt like there were a couple of like, it kept going big, like roller coastery, which I always have kind of mixed feelings about doing too much. And it felt like this song maybe verged on that, but didn't quite get to the point where I'd say like, okay, like, you know, shit or get off the pot, right? Like, are you gonna end the song on a big note, or are you gonna keep like sort of toying with me and yo-yoing us back and forth between these big and these small and the big and the small? And it was almost there, but I enjoyed it. I liked it.
So earlier I said that, yeah, they bring in these really big figures in the musical scene to work on these songs. This one was actually really interesting, and this is why everyone was really excited for this one, because I don't know if you've heard of this person, but this one was done by Crywolf, who is like pretty big in the EDM scene, who does a lot of like chill dubstep. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting that he actually went out of his way to do this.
Yeah, and you know, I sort of got smacks of Ashes and Blood from the Arcane Season 2 soundtrack, which is a phenomenal track. And some of the artistic decisions smacked of that to me. It is interesting to me that somebody who's like an EDM producer is doing something like this. That's a lot more, there's choir and there's orchestral stuff. You can kind of hear there's like a synthesized ha 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 thing that gets like sort of played with, you know, and the notes are kind of going everywhere. That definitely sort of feels like somebody who has, you know, experience playing with like synthesized voices and playing on a keyboard or something like that to make these sort of like pseudo orchestral sounds. So it's not like hugely surprising, but it is a little surprising. It's very cool. I don't know. I've never actually listened to Crywolf, so I don't know if that's like in their wheelhouse or not, but it is very cool.
A couple things. One, a little bit of what you said earlier with Ashes and Blood. I actually, in my research, I found out that the person who sung Awaken, Holly, she also was one of the voices in Ashes and Blood. Because you know that big layering of voices? She was one of them, which is really funny.
Awesome.
Really cool.
That is
really cool. And then also, I will say, in the past, I said that every region in this world has its own like sort of genre of music that it follows. This region is the Vatican City. It's about Catholicism, and people always call it Catholic dubstep. So they always are getting these kinds of they're getting a bunch of EDM and dubstep artists and having them do their magic for all the music of this specific region. It's really cool.
That's fantastic. I want to hear more of that. My wife grew up in South Bend, Indiana, where Notre Dame is a very Catholic sort of like region. She went to Catholic school and all this sort of stuff. And we both sort of have a soft spot for, in our own ways, grand, but also sort of dangerous, kind of threatening feeling of sort of like Catholic
I kind of get what you
choirs,
mean.
you know, like Catholic dubstep is a genre that I did not know I wanted until you
I'll
said those
find
words.
a
And I
couple.
was
There's
like,
a couple that are
yes,
in my head.
there's more. Yeah, there's more. Okay, there's more Catholic dubstep because I'm in. I'm all in. I like I said, you want to like mash up some genres and get weird with it. I'm there.
All right, well, that's all the music that we have today. Let us know in the comments what else you want Rain to listen to. I'll pick one Catholic dubstep song and whatever else you guys say. So yeah, see you guys later.